All right, guys, we're live now. Whoever comes to the broadcast, I just want to give you the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I mean, I know I shouldn't do this, but I guess we should start it off with like Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima. Although like what we're saying and talking about I guess it's kind of tough speech to really handle based on the things that I'm going to show you. um so the thing is the title is why won't American women never be for you? Never, women will never be for you. Um, and I'd like to start off the thing with some prophetic wisdom, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and look that up just to start off the topic. Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking real quick. Just give me a minute. Okay, uh, so Nelaro alayhi salatu salam, he said there were five things that uh, if we adopted them as Muslims, then now I don't know if the hadith is sahih, but the thing is most of these women have adopted these practices, and that's like cursing, you know, wearing silk, musical instruments, drinking wine, and men are satisfied with men, and women are satisfied with women. And I hate to say it, but like I was on Clubhouse earlier today. As a matter of fact, I was on Clubhouse today. I kid you not. I swear to Allah that there were these two Muslim women who said that we're not going to marry men. We're going to get in a platonic relationship. We're going to have a platonic relationship instead. So they have really bought into this feminist super soldier serum type thing. You know what I mean? Even it was crazy. One of them was actually trying to justify soft girl era. They said, "Oh, the reason for the soft girl era was because of the patriarchy and all this other BS that they were spewing." I'm like, get the hell out of here! You guys sound stupid. And the thing is, on Clubhouse, my opinion is a minority opinion. That's the problem. So even um good evening, retro guy, top of the top. So it's even gotten to the point on Clubhouse where you have some of these chimpanzee males who are pandering to these women. And you would think that they're coming from societies where they don't do things like that. So what happened was is that I said this. I said that, hey, if I'm going out with my boys, I'm gonna tell my chick, yo, I'm going out with my boys. I'll say it straight like that. Do you know there was a guy on Clubhouse who was offended by me calling a woman a chick? So you can't even say certain things anymore without them getting offended. Even the women got offended from me calling a woman a chick. You're getting offended over that? It's like it's like we're living in such a world right now where you can't even use the words that you usually use to refer people to certain things. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, bro, like this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? This is unfortunately like crazy what we're going through. And it is sad when you see these men get dumbed down too. When they get dumbed down and they believe the sauce that they're still good in the West. It's like, get the hell out of here, bro. Like, you really are sounding stupid right now. And I'm about to show, of course, I'm gonna go into some video to show, what I'm talking about, basically. Um, there was even one time, and of course, you hear this from Muslim women, and you hear from non-Muslim women. I told them that there were women overseas who want to marry me. I said there's a lot of women overseas who want to marry me, and they don't want to leave their countries either, and they don't want to come to the United States. They want me to go over there and marry them. Okay, some of them couldn't believe it, but then others, of course, the women said, "Oh, you just want to marry them so you can be manipulative of them, and so you can like just take advantage of them." And you sound like you sound very misogynistic right now, because what happened was so a brother came to me, and I'm not, I'm gonna keep his like information like confidential, but a brother came to me and he told me like, yo, bro, like my wife has deprived me of sex for 1 year. And so I said, well, and mind you, I've never been married. um but I guess he valued my opinion, and he said, so what should I do? He said, so what should I do about this situation? And I told him, like, I said, since like your wife is depriving you of that, you may want to consider getting a second wife. I said, I know it's going to be hard to do, but you may want to consider like traveling abroad and getting a second wife who will be able to give you those things. You know what I mean? um and someone said you gave your friend the worst advice, and you were going to ruin his marriage, but his marriage is already ruined when a woman dupes you into marrying, and she's depriving you of the very thing that pretty much you're going to want on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, this just go, and then someone else came in and said, oh, you can they can try to talk things out. But I keep on saying there's no talking things out with a Western woman. Someone tried to also say that the divorce rate is at 50%. That's cap. The divorce rate is at 70%. And I can look it up right now. It may be even more than 70%. Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. Um, Let me see. looks like it looks like they said half will end in divorce, but let's see who initiates the divorce the most. Hold on, let me see. 70% of divorces are initiated by women. So what does that tell you? That that's why I said it's not worth. I keep on telling people that you should not marry here. If you have leverage and if you build up leverage, you shouldn't marry in the United States because it's going to hell. Okay, and you're not getting anything out of the deal, really. That's the thing. And so these feminist super soldier cucks are so stupid. Even one time, and this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. One feminist super soldier cuck said that women have it harder than men, and that women with pretty privilege have it hard. And the first thing that goes in my head is, how do you have it hard when a woman with pretty privilege can make six figures in a matter of weeks on OnlyFans? How is that having it hard? How is having like many attention from like just different types of men hard? You know what I mean? Like they make no sense. These whole these feminist super soldiers and these Western women at times don't make any sense when they speak. And you have to ask yourself, like, do they think before they talk? You know what I mean? And so it really it really doesn't, like, it boggles my mind at times when they speak, you know. Hold on, there's one more thing I want to look at, and then I'm going to just show you some things that were sent to me for me to show you that American women, and I'm saying that I'm not just talking about one type of demographic of American women. I'm talking about all types of American women or all types of Americanized women, be it they be from a Latin background but were born or bred here in the States, be it from an Asian background, be it that they were born or bred from the States, um, as as observed by me in Clubhouse, be it from an African background, if they're born and bred in the States, or be it from an Asian background, if they're born and bred in the States. You know, they're all the same across the board. All of these American women are the same across the board. And I keep on trying to tell people that. Even Austin Holloman, shout outs to Austin Holloman. He had a Nigerian woman on his show. She was no different from any feminist super soldier. Same exact things. Um, he has to be 6 feet. He has to be making six figures, and he has to have a 6 inch. It was the same exact thing. The same exact thing. Brother, listen to me. I'm 28 years old, brother. I turned 28 in July. Um, I've been checked out of American women. Okay, I've been checked out. I never, like, even like, I know some other Africans who have like been interested in American women and stuff like that. But for me, I've never like, I never, I don't bother. Okay, they're just, I hate to say this, brother. I hate to say this, and I know this is going to sound harsh, but a lot of American women are just uncultured. Like, they're uncultured and they're like uncultured, and they're just like basically, I guess you can say they're basically, there's no, there's not only no accountability, there's no control. They don't even know how to control themselves. The other day there was this one Casper Karen cunt, she burped and she didn't even cover her mouth. She just like burped out loud. And I'm like, I'm like, I was about to I like, I just looked at her like, are you serious right now? Like your parents didn't teach you any manners, like to just cover your mouth instead of just like burping like out loud. Like it made no sense to me, really. But there's something else I want to read, and then I'm going to show you guys some things that people sent me. You know what I mean? And then we're going to talk about it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing that we have to take into account. The thing is feminism, right? I'm all for women getting equal rights and stuff like that in the workplace and stuff like that. I'm all for it. But they don't want equal rights. It's not about equal rights. It's about something more sinister. And what happened is when women wanted leadership roles, this this is not good. Okay. When women wanted leadership roles, because the thing is that um basically said it, hey, and this is heavy what I'm about to tell you. This is very heavy what I'm about to tell you. Okay. And many people will not agree with it, but I agree with it. Um, basically, Nelatu alayhi salatu salam said no people who appoint a woman as their leader will ever prosper. And that is in Bukhari. That's in Sahih Bukhari. Um, now also the thing is that um here's the thing about this, what I'm about to say. These positions require perfect wisdom, reason, alertness, and a testimony of a man has been made equal to that of two women. Um, so, with this being said, um, other people agree with it that the position of a leader um, could never be given to a woman, even if she possessed all the qualities of perfection and self reliance. How could a woman take a position of a leader when she did not have the right to be a judge or the witness under most of the historical governments? Um, it goes on to say that scholars agree that women are not fit to be leader or judges because the leader needs to go out to organize and take care of others' affairs. So the thing is, women, I hate to say it, but women are not able to do many things. Women are imperfect. Hey, I'm just reading what is being said. I'm just reading what is being said by scholars. I'm not saying this on my own opinion. This is just what the scholars have historically said. And if you agree with it, you do. If you don't, you don't. I personally agree with it because I look at the way Western society is right now. But the scholars have said that uh, basically uh, that women that women are this is proven by reality because people know from experience that only men are fit for leadership because women by nature are more emotionally and more easily swayed by their feelings. And we see this happening firsthand. These qualities have been created in women to enable them to carry out their most important duty, which is that of motherhood and nurturing children. Men, on the other hand, are not usually swayed by their emotions as women are. Their way is usually one of logic and deliberation, from which um, the essence of responsibility and leadership. So, um, with that being said, right? w- with that with this being said, uh what do we have today though? We have women wanting to be boss babes. We have women wanting to be um like basically I have my own this, I have my own that. And they won't even they're saying, oh, men don't make good leaders and stuff like that. Because you're at war with us so much that we're so busy like in ideology war with you guys that we don't even have time to basically lead because we have to contend with dealing with you guys and your and the feminism which you started. um and this article says there is no validity in what most modern writers say about how women have to go out and take part in parliaments and public councils, and that these are part of the rights granted to women by Islam. These writers have not examined the issue from the correct viewpoint. The truth is clear, but unfortunately, they look at it with their minds filled with heretic trends from heretic trends from east and west. Therefore, you see them weakened and defeated, dazzled by these false civilizations of those nations. And then they come and misinterpret the text and change the words from their right places until they agree with their whims. We ask Allah to keep us safe from that. And I hate to say it, but the boss babe city girl thing destroyed American women. And guess who like was at the helm of it? The celebrities, the Kardashians, and things like that. Because Kardashian said, "Oh, I'm a hard-working woman and stuff." But the stores that they had, the clothing stores and stuff like that, that was financed through the SEX tape that she made. You know what I mean? Um, and that's just basically what happened. You know what I mean? Um, so what I'm gonna show you is just certain things that I that were sent to me to show you that basically American women will never be for you, as a man. Even if you're a high earning man, they'll never be for you. Okay, we see it happening firsthand before our eyes. So I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you some things that I found. Share. So a lot of people like who are on the type of speed I'm on, they send me a lot of footage and a lot of clips and stuff like that. Like they send me hella things. And they know that like I have a channel and the channel trying to grow the channel, and they agree with my talking points, and even if they disagree with my talking points, um they still try to engage. But most of the time when people disagree with my talking points, I just ask him for a reason, and I ask him to give me evidence, which like refutes what I'm saying. Like if there's evidence of otherwise happening, then give me that evidence, and then I'll I'll change my tune. But here's a video that I actually pulled up um, to show you, what basically what we're dealing with, like what we're dealing with in certain situations. Just give me a second. Let me go down. Just give me a minute. Give me a cool minute. All right. Hold on just a minute. So, this first example here, you see a woman, and you have to ask yourself this question, like, really, really kind of like ask yourself this question, like, would you really want to like come home to this? Like, would you really want to like actually come home and see this? Let me wash my hands. Turning on the water, adding soap, scrub, make sure I get the soap everywhere. And I can do this without getting my fingers wet. Soap on the nails. Yes, they get a bath too. Get them wet. I'll move to the side so that I have enough room. Wash. Now, the question you will have to ask yourself is like, number one, like, how difficult is it going to be for her to eat? Like, just doing those things. Like, and also, like, I'm pretty sure there's no man involved with that. But how would you even be intimate with like something like that? Like, how would that even be possible to even be intimate with like a woman like this? You know, you will have to ask yourself these questions like, okay, how is this going to work? How is this going to work out for me? You know what I mean? Clean the fingers. And then rinse. Nails. There you go. Thanks. Yeah, so I mean, and I'm gonna be honest, not even in like in different cultures, they don't even do shit like that. Like they don't even like do shit like that. Like do your nails like that. They don't do shit like they don't just do stupid shit like a lot of American women do. Stupid shit. If there is a cultural norm in a different culture, it may be different to like a lot of Americans, but it's not going to be like to the extreme of things that these women do. But here's something else that was brought to my attention. Um, let me see. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Just give me a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this was brought to my attention. See.
Haven't had Bang Bang in 11 months, but I use toys. I went to the doctor for a regular checkup and I tested positive for STD. I kept it to myself. 2 weeks later, my friend texted me she has an STD. I asked her about using my toys. She admitted it. I vowed to drag her next time I see her. Knock her into a dream, sis. Knock her ass into a dream.
So you see, I'm telling you, if they're doing this to if they're doing this to each other, right? If they're doing things like this to each other, what makes you think that you're exempt from this? If they're doing these kind of like underhanded things, what makes you think that you're free if they don't even like each other? They may claim this like sisterhood and shit like that, but it's all fake. I'm not gonna lie to you. They listen. The moment one of them gets married is the moment that, or if the moment one of them gets a man, is the moment that shit stops. The bashing of men. When one of them gets a man, though, the bashing stops, and that person gets outcast out of the group most of the time. Don't let it fool you.
Because I could see if you were out here risking it for a biscuit, but you were asking it. So you tried to use the safest method, which was your toys.
And don't let that sex toy shit fool you either, because what happens is with the sex toys, they basically it basically gets to a point where they use those sex toys so much that like a regular ding dong can't really, it doesn't really do anything for them. That tends to happen a lot of the times too.
And then she put an infested cooter on your toys and left that vaginal secretion, and now you got an STD. Drag her ass. Rock bottom her ass to the.
And so you see these women call for violence too. That's another thing about American women, bro. They're pretty violent. They're pretty violent. They're pretty violent people. I'm not gonna even cap. They're violent. That's another reason why, like, they can't really do anything for you. You know what I mean? And so that's why I recommend you just like pretty much stay away. Because I mean, do you do you really want to like risk your health, your welfare, and other things just so you can try to like get with them? I recommend you just stay away. And again, I need to reiterate that it's with all American women. It's with black ones, it's with the white ones, it's with ones from African backgrounds, it's with ones from Asian backgrounds, it's with ones from Latin backgrounds. I'm just like being honest that it's all American women. It's not just some, it's all of them, you know. And this isn't no red pill rage or anything like that. It's not no red pill rage. It's just that this is the climate we're living in, and if you want to be smart, you have to move smart. So here's another example. And granted, the son is playing football, so being tackled comes with the territory of playing football. But let's continue.
Is a situation in question. A woman with something in her hand chasing after a 12-year-old over a Little League football game. The child running away with his hands in the air.
This is ridiculous. Like, how could you get that angry at a kid's game? Your son plays football. They tackle each other. That's just the name of the game. How can you get that upset to chase him, and not only chase him, but curse him while you're chasing him?
It was the first game of the season for the Southside Rave.
So let this be a lesson to you too. Walaikum salam rahmatullah barakatuhu. Welcome to the live stream. Let this be a lesson to you too. Having a single mom enroll a son in sports is usually not the best idea because her emotions get involved, and I've seen it firsthand as a coach. As a coach, I coach track and field, and I coach little kids in track and field, and a lot of those single mothers thought that their kids were really hot. The hot stuff were really like for example, putting bro, I stopped messing with them years ago, bro. I stopped messing with them years ago, regardless of their background, regardless if they're Belejo, which is black in my language, regardless if they're Tubak, which is white in my language, regardless if they're Asian, regardless if they're Latin, regardless, hell, even regardless if they come from an African family, because I know a lot of times they a lot of these, especially among the Somalians and the Ethiopians, they're filled with that super soldiers feminist serum. And I hate to tell you this, but it happened on Clubhouse. It happens on Clubhouse all the time. All the time it's on Clubhouse. But back to my point, you shouldn't like when you have a single mother and she puts her son or her daughter in sports, you're gonna clash. Because I'm not gonna lie, I clashed with them too, for the simple fact they thought their kids were really better than what they are, and this is what happened, and I tried to tell them in the most like respectful way that when it comes to like putting together a relay, I have to like put together relays where people are consistent. I could have just straight out say your son and daughter are slow. Brother, 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 brother. Let me tell you a story about me that happened to me one time. And this happened in LA as well. Now passport is key. Passport is going to be key. Leave them alone. If they get offended by you and stuff like that, I'm going to tell you something that happened the other day. This one Casper Karen cunt. The thing is, it's gotten to a point where I don't even look at them. Where I don't even like want to look at them. Like, because as Muslims, there's a saying that we love what Allah loves and hate what Allah hates. And I hate to say it, but Allah definitely hates the way these women are moving, because we're seeing the firsthand consequences of how they're moving, and it's not coming out good. So he definitely hates it. But let's continue with Miss Woman, who decided to tackle or try to chase after another woman's kid, and they're playing football. So it's tackle football.
They were up against the Northwest Gorillas. The game was cut short after just a few minutes of starting.
Yeah, he was okay. I picked him up and everything, and he was actually trying to shake my hand after the play until I guess his mom started chasing me.
An incident report by the Youth Football and Cheerleading League uncovers the parent in question was found in violation of multiple code of conduct policies. The YFF calling the woman a substantial threat to the environment.
Hey, if you cannot control your emotions that much that you...
And it goes back to the point. That the thing is the problem is, and it happened in another room. I don't know if you were in here earlier, but there was this Americanized Jamaican man that I was making a point earlier. It was in Clubhouse. This Americanized Jamaican man, I simply called a woman a chick, and he got offended for me calling a woman a chick, bro. I simply said, if I'm going out with my boys, I'm going to tell my chick. I'm going to tell my chick I'm going out with my boys. Do you know this Jamaican man got offended by me calling her a chick? You got offended by me calling her a chick? Are you serious? I use the word chick. You can't even use words anymore to refer to women without offending some of these soft cuckazoids. And it goes back to the whole thing about women's emotions. Okay, I'm gonna read what I said again. Let me see. Where was it at? Let me see. Right here. Only men are fit for leadership, which is true, because women by nature are more emotional and more easily swayed by their feelings and compassion. But I would cut out the compassion part because bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Listen. I had a Nigerian jersey. I had like a Nigerian soccer jersey because I'm me being from Guinea-Bissau, I'm a soccer guy. I like football a lot. Um, and the thing is, brother, there was this one Nigerian woman, and she said, "Nice jersey," and I just simply said, "Thank you," and walked away because I already knew like what time it is with a lot of these Nigerian women, bro. And I hate to say it, Nigerian men too. It's sad, bro. Like they've lost their way. Like the Nigerians I know, like who haven't been Americanized, like the one I know, he decided that he was not going to marry here. Yeah, yeah, bro. I'm either I'm not I'm gonna probably move somewhere in the east. I definitely am gonna put part of my time, spend part of my time in the west, but I'm gonna spend part of my time in the east. A lot of my time in the east. I'm not gonna talk about my plans too much, but um the thing is, I have a training partner, and he spends a lot of his time in St. Petersburg. He spends like a great deal of his time in St. Petersburg, and he also spends time where he was born in Kyrgyzstan, but he also comes to the West sometimes too. So that's what my goal is like to spend more time over there, but still spend time in the West, like for economical reasons, just for like economical investment reasons, not for having a kid or not for even like socializing. Like that's what I'm planning to do. But let's continue with this woman.
That upset, then you don't need to be around kids. But no, nobody has said anything to me.
She has since been banned from all events and activities permanently, and so have the rest of her family and children.
I hate that her son has to suffer. I hate that.
So not only, yeah, there's some logical African men still left, but they are pussy whooped, and to be honest, they've like kind of bent down. They've kind of bent down to like the level of like pussy. Like they kind of like let pussy control them. And I've seen it firsthand. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a story. There was this one Senegalese guy. I'm not going to disclose his name, but there was this Nigerian woman who was designing, like he was designing clothes for her and stuff like that. And I happened to come over, and like, I guess, I don't know, he felt a certain type of way because I guess she was giving me a certain type of energy, and he got like he immediately started to hate on me and stuff like that, and I didn't even care for her. Like, that's the thing, because I at the time I already checked out when it came to women from America or who have been Americanized. Like, I literally checked out. Like it doesn't exist in my head. Like, they don't, like, courting them or trying to bother with them, it doesn't exist in my head. But yeah, she needs to be locked up. But the unfortunate thing about this is that now, because of her actions, her kid can't play football anymore. That's the messed up thing about it. But let's look. Let's see what happens.
The team has to suffer because we don't hate them. We do this for fun.
The woman will need to pay a $200 fine, and so will her son's former team, the Northwest Gorillas, for $500 for not controlling the sideline.
I think it's just a learning lesson for everybody.
So you see that not only does the son suffer, but the whole team suffers because of her outlandish behavior. So not only does the you know what I mean, like the whole operation is all bad now because she decided upon herself that it was necessary to basically do those actions. You know what I mean? Now, the good news is that although like things in the West have reached worldwide influence, the good news is some still aren't buying. Some people are still not buying what the West has to sell. That's the good news. And let's see it right here with Meg Thee Stallion in Brazil. So as you see, Meg Thee Stallion was in Brazil. They weren't feeling her. They probably want some samba instead. And that's the good news. The good news is that some of these places have decided that they're not having it with the Western things. So that's the good news. Yeah, I think honestly they should hold the line still. That's going to be the best thing for them to do, is hold the line. So yeah. So there's another video that shows you that American women will never be for you. This actually happened, I think it was road rage. And this is what happened. Now, imagine if there was like a kid in the car. Like, imagine if there was a kid in the car when she threw that whatever it was at the car. And imagine what would have happened if like what kind of damage that could have possibly did to the kid if there was one in the car. You know, I really, the thing is this, someone told me this and they broke it down. American women have rode the cock carousel so much that they're not satisfied, so they don't know where to put their emotions, so they want to fight a lot. You know, that's why you kind of see them like trying to start up fights and stuff like that. It's because they've been turned out so much that they want to fight, you know. And again, they'll say, oh, you know, I don't do that anymore, I'm celibate and stuff like that. They'll say these things, but really they're only one back blown away from basically getting turned out like usual. And so when it happens often, more often, I mean, I hate to say it, they get bored after a while. And so, you know, that void, which they like pretty much like got rid of, it makes them want to fight, you know, so they become more violent. So you see how she's like trying to drive off, right? After doing what she did, after throwing what she threw, you know, she tries to drive off. Now, on a lighter note, I want to, you know, I can't show all bad all the time. So I'm going to show you what lies in the East if you decide to marry an Eastern woman. Let me show you what lies in the East. So you see how the family structure is together, right? You have two genders, male, female, right? You have the kid, and then you have the mother and father catering to the kid, as they should. You know, unfortunately, a Western woman, an American Western woman, doesn't look at the kid, as mother and father are doing here. The Western woman looks at a kid as my child support paycheck. That's how she looks at the kid. And we see the effects of that by how these kids are turning out and growing up, right? So now, but you know, according to Western women and American women, yeah, me too, bro. I'm dead serious when it comes to that Second Amendment. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Okay? And I don't advocate for like violence or anything like that. I don't advocate for it. But what are you left to do if a woman is threatening your life or threatening your bodily harm? What are you left to do? That's what I'm saying. What are you left to do? As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Khalid ibn Walid had to fight a woman. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. So I want you guys to know something too. When I'm talking, I'm not talking out of my I'm not just talking out of my my just my whims and desires. You know, I'm not talking out of that. I'm talking out of based on evidences that we have on what we should how we should move. Now here's yeah, bro. Now here's Khalid ibn Walid. For those of you guys who don't know, Khalid ibn Walid was one of the best generals that the world ever had. You know what I mean? So he was sent on a mission, right? He was sent on a mission, and this may sound a little violent, but let this mission be a lesson to you that if you feel your life is threatened, since women, American women are so masculine now, and I'm not, and don't misconstrue my words. Don't think I'm calling for I'm not calling for violence, you know. But Khalid, I'm gonna read this. Khalid went back, and when the custodians who were also servants of Al Uzza, that's an idol, by the way, saw him, they started invoking and calling Al Uzza. When Khalid approached it, he found a naked woman whose hair was untidy and who was throwing sand on her head. Khalid killed her with his sword and went back to the messenger of Allah, who said that was Al Uzza. So what I'm saying is that you're given it's within your rights to protect yourself. Like it's within your rights to protect yourself, and it's been inside our I'm speaking on the Muslim perspective. It's been passed down to us in our Muslim history. You know what I mean? Now here is another example of a traditional Eastern family. Now, and you can say what you want in the comment section. Let me know if you prefer the toxic Western American family that American women will offer you, or do you prefer the Eastern family, which can be given to you? Here you go.
Face to face? You want the face to face?
And you see him in the background you see his wife in the background covered up, and he's just playing with his kids. You know, I hate to say it, but an American woman will get to a point where, if she hates you so much, let's say you guys didn't work out and you guys are co-parenting, it'll get to the point where she hates you so much that she'll keep the kid from you. Although you may want to see the kid a lot, she'll just say, nah, you're not seeing the kid, which ultimately hurts the kid. You know, unfortunately, it hurts the kid. You see his wife in the background,
Face to face.
and so this is honestly for me, this is what I want. This is what I want. I want that. You know what I mean? I want to be able to play with my kids and just be able to chill. You know, my wife being chilling in the background. You know what I mean? I want that. But you're not going to find that with an American woman, because they can't function under peaceful circumstances. most American women only function under chaos and only want chaos. That's the whole situation we're dealing with. And I hate to say it, but that includes that includes first generation Muslim children as well, because I'm telling you, Clubhouse is a different animal. But let's look at this. So I think what happened was the woman actually instigated, and so she, I guess, was with more than one guy, and so she tried to get the one guy, the other guys to gain up on this one guy. You see her trying to fight too. You see her trying to fight. You see her trying to fight.
No. I'm the big. No. I'm the big. I'm the big. There you go. Let him do it. Let him do it time. Let him do it time.
So you see how American women are, right? I hate to say this. I really hate to say this, but I dislocated someone's jaw from an American woman gaslighting him to try to get me. They didn't know, like, because another thing about being a boxer is that you necessarily don't look like a boxer, right? Because most of the time when the boxing ring is where you take out all of your things, right? So I remember being at an ATM one time, and this happened in Santa Monica. There was a group of these as you say, hood boogers, and they thought that I was an easy lick. They thought I was an easy lick once I was taking money out of the ATM. Little did they know that it wasn't going down like that. And when I heard her say, "There goes a nigga right there. That's a quick lick." She didn't know that I heard her say that. So she sent the dude over. The dude grabbed me on the shoulder. I pretty much slipped and then hooked him. I hooked him and then the way I threw the check hook, he ran into the ATM machine. And I said, "Who's next?" I basically said, "Who's next?" And I proceeded to cuss the girl out as well. And so that unfortunately, I don't know why men give their control to women like that. But when men do, these kind of situations happen, like the one that I was in and the one right here.
He holding it. Yeah. He holding it.
So you even see that the other big Keisha is trying to tase him. But I have to respect him because he's pretty much holding his own against all of them. Like, he's pretty much holding his own against all of them, which tells you, like, those dudes don't know how to fight. That's what that's telling you as well, is that these dudes don't know how to fight at all. I really thought that was a man in the pink sweater, but that's actually a woman. I thought that was a man the whole damn time. It's a woman. Wow, so she was in the mix too. Get the hell out of here. She was trying to fight too.
Roll him. Y'all must have roll him. Roll him. Y'all must have roll him. Y'all must roll him. Y'all must have.
I mean, I have to respect dude. Like that dude was actually holding it down, by himself, and that just goes to show you how weak those dudes were. Is that like he was doing that shit by himself, Um, that just goes to show you like how like weak the generation is as well, that like you guys couldn't handle that dude. You guys couldn't like do it like by yourself. So something else was brought to my attention. uh I will say that like women, American women have become like so masculine that I think, I know this sounds crazy what I'm about to say, but I think that um Allah is meeting them halfway in this quest of masculinity. I'm going to show you why. So I want you to pay close attention and look at her chest hairs.
I don't know if y'all realize this, but the more women choose to embrace themselves, their appearance, their body hair, and everything that is deemed a flaw, the less societal beauty standards will have an impact on us, and we'll be free. Like, we won't be embarrassed to be ourselves. So, ladies, come on. We have the power.
So you saw that she had body hair like that. Um, uh, yeah, the PNB Rock situation, bro. Here's the thing about women, and I'm going to tell you this: when you have status and stuff like that, unfortunately, a woman wants everybody to know that she's with you and doesn't know how to shut the hell up. And yeah, the PNB murder is like pretty unfortunate because it happened at a dining establishment. Yeah, it's either a trance or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's just like gross. It's disgusting. So like when you see things like this, you just leave. You just leave. You leave them alone. Just leave them alone. I mean, I'm not in, but by no means am I saying that you should but by no means am I saying suggesting this. I'm not suggesting what what I'm about to suggest. But if it comes to you having to if it comes to you having to release your urges, I don't want to call to sin, but if a woman, for example, if a woman is taking you through the ringer, you're paying much money for dates, and she's basically rationing off sex, and she's saying, oh, after this amount of dates, then you can get some. After this amount of dates, oh, you can get some. After this amount of dates, oh, you can get some. Then just beat your meat and leave her alone. I'm not calling to do that. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying that if you're a Western man and you decide to like want to engage in this like relationship market, and you think that there's hope for Western women, and you don't want to use a passport, then I'm just saying that that's probably going to be your only viable option, is to do that. But there was something else that was brought to my attention as well. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Try to find it. Okay, yeah. Found it right here. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right. My bad. So this was also brought to my attention. And this just lets you know how here's what they think about you. But let's look. Let's listen.
Men, if a woman accuses you of rape, even if you didn't do it, you shut up and accept the charges. Women have been
So in essence, women just want you not to not to fight not to fight like if someone accuses you of rape. No, don't trick off her, at the end of the day, because like just be the guy that doesn't do anything for her, like just be that guy who's not available to her and stuff like that. Just don't even like bother tricking or anything like that. Just be unavailable to her. And as a matter of fact, I know this sounds bad, but I find that ghosting works pretty well as too. I'm not going to name her, but there was a Cape Verdean woman, and she had a boyfriend, but yet she couldn't stop being in my DMs, all the time. So I kept on ghosting her, You know, I would ghost her over and over and over and over again. I would continue to ghost her, but she would just try to find a way to try to be in the DMs, try to talk to me and stuff like that. And I just left with short one word answers, you know what I mean? And it just she still tried to talk to me, but until I just blocked her completely. I decided, I'm gonna just block her. I just decided, hey, at this point I'm just gonna block her. But I mean, this is not cool what this woman is calling to.
Systematically oppressed for years, and you giving up some years of your freedom doesn't compare to the oppression they've been through. Holy shit.
I say the same thing. Holy shit.
Wow. That is fucking insane.
It
and
is.
You know what the problem is? I think that's a real person.
It is a real person.
A real fucking person. Emily Swaven. Oh.
So I'm just saying to you guys, American women don't like men, okay? They have been programmed to hate us, okay? So if they've been programmed to hate us, then we just have to deal with it and move accordingly. That's the thing. We just have to move accordingly. They've been programmed to hate us, so let's just take it as is and just accept the fact that they don't like us, okay? And they only look at us as a ATM machine. We just have to accept it. That's the whole thing. We just have to accept the way it is. So let me see if there's another video that was sent to me with these women. So I hate to show this video, but it just goes to show you the extent that it just goes to the extent to show you how much that an American woman will make their kids hate you if things didn't work out between you guys. I don't like to show this video because it's very sensitive video, but I'm just gonna show it for you guys, just to show you how deep it gets when they dislike you.
What you want me to do?
Die. I want you to die. I want you to be deaf.
Now, granted, the mom put the ideas in his head for that to be said. The ideas came from his mom. Yeah. No, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I get it, bro. I understand, bro. Trust me, I understand. But back to the video, unfortunately, the mother put these ideas in the kid's head, because there was probably some I guess there was just the relationship didn't work out, and that's his son. But let's continue on.
I want you to be deaf forever. Those are mine.
No, they not. I bought them for you. Say sorry.
Sorry. I can't show them.
You want me to be dead?
Yeah. I want you to be dead. I want you to be deaf. What? want you to die. Stab yourself with a knife.
Why would I do that?
So I want you to. I want you to stab yourself with a knife.
So this is why you have to save your seed, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work out with an American woman to have kids. So you don't want to have a kid who harbors that kind of feeling for you, because of the simple fact his mom put that feeling inside of him. So it's better for you to not, you know what I mean, because that's his kid. And you have to imagine how he felt when his kid told him, like, you know, I want you to die. I want you to stab yourself. And, you know, again, that's his kid. That's his kid who said that, you know. And so with that being said, it's better to, you know, it's a high risk game that you may be playing if you marry an American woman, you know. Me personally, I just say don't go near them. Like, that's just my personal belief. You shouldn't go near them. Trying to see if there's any other videos that I may have missed that anybody sent me. Trying to see if anybody. Oh, right here. Let me see.
People who don't want to wear masks are the main ones that don't want to have. She said abortion. It's our body. Oh God, we should like a. Yeah, I'm not ready for you, mother.
So I'm showing this just to show you how much they actually hate kids. American women have been so programmed that, like, they dislike kids. Like, a lot of them are not fit to be like mothers. You know, a lot of them are not fit to like actually be mothers or anything like that. So you may just, again, just leave them alone. I suggest just leave them alone. You may want to just leave them alone. You know, that's why I suggest. I'll show you something real quick. This is why I usually follow this way, and I know it sounds pretty extreme, but in the times we're living in, we have to be this extreme. So here it is right here.
We haven't properly met yet. I'm Starlight.
I hate to say it, but it's gotten to the point. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, definitely, bro. Sleep well, bro. Inshallah, I'm gonna make some dua for you too, inshallah. Tishba ala khair to you too. And yeah, so I say this to say that even your social interactions with modern women should be brief as hell. They shouldn't be like these long social interactions. You should keep it as brief as possible. There was something that was brought to my attention, and this just lets you know how much they actually hate you and dislike you. Oh, she actually put it on her page. That's funny. She actually put it on her page. She actually Put it on her page. Just to let you know, that Fox Soul show too. That Fox Soul show is another means that them pushing the gynocracy as well. That's the thing. That's another thing too. Um, don't let it fool you. So they had a trans woman. That's crazy. I didn't even know. So they had a trans woman, basically a man, um, getting at another black man. But let's look at it. Let me find it. Let me find the video. Now, it's not even a narcissist. What, like the video I'm about to show. No contact is the best option with dealing with American women, period. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, no contact with American women, period, is the best way of dealing with them. I hate to say this, but I don't even have contact with Muslim women who are in America, because you just hear Clubhouse, man, and you hear how these Muslim women are on Clubhouse who are westernized. It's like, yo, forget about it, bro. I don't need it. But let's listen. So yeah, no contact is in. I know it's hard, but I advocate for having no contact with Western women. Like, that's what I advocate for, you know. But here we go.
Michael Phelps has struggled through some dark times with his mental health, but with a little help from his therapist, he's able to meet the challenges of each new day. Talkspace. Get personally matched today with a therapist who can give you a little help too.
Would more effective writing give you an edge at work?
By the way, don't do therapy. People learn you just to hurt you. So don't follow that ad.
Grammarly can make your job one click simpler.
Here we go. What's up, guys? What's up, man? How's everybody? Listen, today got another video for you guys. Today I'm doing a reaction video. Listen, I'm going to start doing these videos on my channel because I have so many requests for people asking me to respond to videos, and I have so many in my inbox. Guys, I want you to do me a favor, hit that like button, share, and subscribe to this video. Today I'll be reacting to a video done by Fox Soul. The host here is Tammy Mack, and she has a panel of 4 people. Now, I only chose to react to 2 of the people because they really are the main people on the panel, and that is Dr. Umar Johnson and Cynthia G. Now, I'm going to just let a snippet or 2 of this video play for you guys, and then I'll give some commentary. And really what I want you guys to see.
Walaikum salam, City Jawad. How's it going? I'm gonna let you guys play this just to show you how much that American women, and especially black women, don't want solutions. I'm just gonna show you that they don't want solutions. They don't want anything. They don't want to repair what they cause, the damage that they cause. And this goes across the board with all American women. So this is why I say that if I were you, my listeners, I advise to practice like social distancing, like selective social distancing when it comes to American women, so you can keep your health in check and you can keep your growing wealth in check as well. Because health is wealth. We have to keep that in mind. I want to tell you guys something that actually happened. On Clubhouse, it was the same thing. There was this Somali woman. Of course, she took offense to my talking points, like most of them all do. And of course, this other feminist took offense to my talking points, like they all do. And, you know, it was the same story. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know that they're like closet narcissists, but it's the same thing with them. You know what I mean? Like, they just basically will gaslight, knowing that what they have no legs to stand on. When the woman said, and I still can't get over this shit, when she said that women have it harder who have pretty privilege, that's what made me like say, okay, yeah, you know, there's no reasoning with, like, there's just no reasoning with idiots. You know what I mean? And that's just basically how I looked at it. She even called me, of course, she said, you know, you sound you sound like a misogynist. And, you know, I just basically said, like, I'm a misogynist. And sometimes that's the best way to answer. It's just by it, that although you're not a misogynist, just saying that you are one is kind of like basically you holding the line, you know. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, as hard as it is to keep holding this line that I'm holding, I'm gonna continue to hold it, and I won't like break, buckle, or bend, because I know if I break, buckle, or bend, I'll be along with the other men who basically have succumbed to these women's ways, you know. My bad. I'm just kind of preparing something, a little bit of elixir for myself. You know, we're big tea drinkers back where I come from. So yeah, I'm just preparing some tea real quick. But let's continue the conversation with this.
So at some point, and again, and I'm saying, guys, everybody else is being civil. This is how it goes when you try to have a civil conversation with a narcissistic person. I'm gonna let it continue.
Emotional state. I know that I'm a psychologist too, but what you're not doing is telling us what black men do. I believe he'll get there, Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar.
And I'll end it quickly, Sister Tammy. According to Mrs. Cynthia G., Dr. King was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Malcolm X was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Medgar Evers was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Fred Hampton was assassinated because he was doing nothing. That narrative that black men have done nothing to fight back against systemic oppression, not only against ourselves, but against our women, our children, our elders, and our community, is absolutely ridiculous. The cemetery is filled with black men, names we know and names we don't know, who gave their life for the freedom, liberation, and emancipation of African people. How can you disrespect the history of so many black men, past and present, who continue to fight? I'm sitting in a school right now that we built with all black money, 4 buildings that we're going to educate black men in. It's not easy to...
Guys, I'm going to stop that just right there. Again, I just wanted to bring in a small snippet. I am going to leave a link to this video in the description of my video.
So what we really need to say, what we really need to just say basically is that, like, you're not going to get any cooperation from black women. Like, and I've come to the conclusion that even with African women who are here in America who've bought into the whole program of America, you're not going to get cooperation with them either. There's this one girl, you know, she had her chance, you know. She definitely had her chance with me. You know, she had her chance. But you know, God had otherwise, and he set it up in a way that it benefited me and it didn't benefit her. But she was from Sierra Leone, and you know, she gave the choosing signals and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I kind of knew that she was on that fast city girl crap. Fast forward, she gets pregnant and she's a single mom. And the thing is, she come from a Muslim family, and she knows damn well that don't fly. So if I would have like even said, hey, you know, I'm gonna be stepdad, then my parents wouldn't even want that to go down back home. So this is why I said, well, you messed that up for yourself, and I dodged the bullet. Yeah, I thank Allah that I dodged that bullet. But let's do some other let's see how let's see what else has come to me. Let's see what else has come to me. Just give me a minute. So if a woman ever says this to you, then just, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't even deal with her if her body count. Like, honestly, I don't want no woman with a body count, but this is what you're dealing with in this society, but let's go to it.
Nike shoes just got a whole lot cheaper. Do you see these Nike shoes? Capital One Shopping is this.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Rapper Diamond The Body reveals her body count is 2,000. Don't believe me? Check it out for yourself. Let's get it.
I lost my virginity at 12 years old. So it's not funny. I'm not saying that to just like, I'm just telling my truth. Okay, I've been literally I remember I lost my virginity at 12 years old. I remember the boy, everything. I remember the whole day like it was yesterday. But 12 to now, it's been a while. Girl, is it just my body count for just niggas or niggas and bitches?
Everybody.
I would say like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'd say like 2,000.
All right, guys, you heard it for yourself. She says her body count is like 2,000. Now, we can choose to look at this from two different perspectives.
So, I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? And I hate to say this. I know this is gonna sound messed up what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When a woman tells you like her body count is like a certain number, you may want to times that number by 3. So if you're dealing with her, you know, there's a chance that her body count may even be at 6,000. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say this, but I'm just going to be honest with you.
Perspectives. We could say, hey, shout out to her for keeping it real and not lying about her body count. And the other perspective is, why are you sharing this with the internet, right? But of course, man, we do live in a society right now where most women aren't ashamed to share these types of stories. In fact, they view it as empowering. Let's see what people had to say about what this rapper shared. Our first comment here comes from a woman, and it reads, I appreciate the honesty because men get kudos for doing it. However, I probably would have fudged the numbers.
So women are admitting to you that, like, they're admitting to you that they do lie about their body count anyway. So she's even telling you that if her body count was at 2,000, this woman is telling you that if her body count was at 2,000, then she would even lie about the numbers as well. You know, she's telling you that she would lie about those numbers, that, you know, them being at 2,000. So that just goes to tell you that, you know, again, you have to understand that American women will never be for you. You know, they'll never be for you. But now I want you to look at something again to let you know that we're looked at like, no matter what kind of man you are, no matter if you're an African man, no matter if you're an American man, no matter if you're a Latin man, no matter what, we're looked at as transactions in this country for these women. So you have to kind of move like according to that notion that you are nothing but a transaction. You know what I mean? As much as I hate to say this, you are pretty much like a transaction. So so basically this is basically what's happening right now. You know, we're a transaction, you know. So here's the situation again. This was passed down to me. Shout out to Anthony Spade. He showed this video, and yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I think hold on. Oh yeah, right here. Here it is. Here's the video.
Authenticated luxury from Gucci, Rolex, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Cartier, Tiffany, and more.
My number will go. You can take me on a couple of days.
Right now, doing this because that she tells you how.
Okay, let's see.
You know where I live? If you're gonna get advice about a lane with money. Let's get back to it. You know where I live? I live in a penthouse in River Oaks, Wrong Point. Yeah. So I don't need the.
So that means you have the money.
Okay, I have the money for me. I don't fucking know. You haven't told me about you. You ain't asked me.
We didn't get to know each other yet.
Okay, then, but look,
you know my standards.
No.
If you start talking to me, you know you gotta pay.
Look, I'm not paying your rent. I'm not paying your rent.
So this is what I'm saying. Like when it comes to American women, you're looked at as a transaction. As a matter of fact, and this woman should know better. She's Cuban. She's Cuban. But the first thing that she asked me, the first thing that was asked was what did I do for a living and how much money I made? You know what I mean? Now, granted, I'll never marry a non-Muslim woman, but the fact that that was the first thing that she asked me goes to show you what time it was. And mind you, she was 198 pounds, disguised as plus size. So she felt like she's entitled to a certain type of dynamic, such as that, someone who values their health and things like that, And this is what you deal with all the time. But I chose not to deal with it.
So maybe
he's right. He's standing his ground. He said, hey, I live over there. I have money. Yes, I do, but I don't know you. This is the first date, and you're already telling me that I have to pay bills. This is what you guys have to understand with a woman. One thing that he's doing wrong on this date is that he's being combative, but at the same time, that's what you have to rip away. Cheativeness. You find a woman like this. I'm pretty. What he shouldn't have did was give her a compliment. He should have never said, hey, you're pretty.
you're so bad. I mean, you look good, but
Cause I'm bad.
But what about what's up here though?
You'll know once you go.
I'm asking you what's up here. What's your 5-year plan?
I have a 5-year plan. I'll tell you.
If a woman calls herself I'm a bad bee, just stay away, guys. Just please, just leave her alone. Save yourself the whole like thing. You know, just really save yourself the situation that you're gonna find yourself in if she calls herself and says I'm a bad bee. Just you know what I mean, just save yourself from that. Just like leave them alone. As I said, just leave them alone. They thrive off of our attention and our validation. Please starve them of all of that. Please. For the preservation of what manhood is left. Please do that. Instead of like validating them.
All right,
All right, let's see.
All right, anyway,
Oh,
the next one.
good. I'm glad I didn't subscribe to this cuckazoid. Thank God. Thank God. There's a couple, like, unfortunately, there's a couple of things that are going on here on these streets. So it looks like the thing is, it's not just like black men that are checking out. It's everybody that's checking out. So here's here the thing is and I want to highlight this. I want you to highlight I want to highlight something. Most of the time when an American woman, since they act off of emotions, right? Since American women act off of emotions and don't act off of logic most of the time, I want you to understand that they'll try to counter something by trying to do the same thing, but they can't do the same thing as men. You know, as it stands, a man dictates marriage, you know, like when it comes to like marriage and when it comes to things like that, a man basically decides, hey, I'm going to be married. You know what I mean? And if a woman decides to fall in line, then she falls in line. But these men that I'm about to show you, they're deciding that they're not going to be married, but they'll just still go ahead and have some fun. These women think that they're going to get married, but they're not.
Are you tired of spending hours learning 3D animation? Well, struggle no more. Our software.
They're in the hunt for drum rolls. They are in the hunt for some BBC. Oh, yeah, sorry. PPC News. Okay, let's continue reading the thing. So they say Gambia has been a heaven for older women seeking a lover or a partner for many years. And the sex tourism in Gambia has been booming since the 1990s. As you could see now, we are bonamos. You can see it's happening there. Walks on the beach, Gambia, and BBC News, and yes, you can see that it's nice there. It's nice. Umlungukazi, nepapalaza, you see, Gambia, it's different. It's just that thing. I find it's not the same like the other ones. She's relaxed, elevating the legs with the spreads.
So much like how Stella got her groove back, American women go to these places just to get their backs blown out. Many have tried, right? Many have tried to lock them down. Many have failed to lock them down. The only reason they lock them down is if one has an ulterior motive in trying to get them over there. But this is usually what happens when they try to get them here. And I'm going to show you what usually happens, you know. This was 5 years ago. So what happened is that this guy right here, actually, he came to America and he used a big white woman who has obviously nothing to offer him in terms of like companionship, but he used her as a means to jumpstart America. And so this is what happens when he came.
Hey, do you ever walk into a room and completely forget why you're there?
Yeah. He thought when he talked me into pulling the annulment that he was in the clear. It sucks because I didn't want it to go this way or end this way.
I feel so mad Daniel is here in Miami. I already told you I don't want to be with you anymore. Like a million times. Coming again here, why? Why?
I brought the binder with me. There's
So that's what I mean. Sometimes, you know, men, you know, especially men from third world countries, they get very desperate. So they figure that, hey, you know, this is my best way to get there. This is my best way to get to America. And they'll take like these old cucks who are looking for companionship and they'll just use them to get to America. You know, that's usually how it works most of the time.
Conversations that he's had with women, photos that he's had with women, bank receipts where he's gotten money, and I'm going to confront him with it. Listen to me.
I don't want to listen
I was
to you.
respectful and listened to you in Ohio. You can listen to me now.
Take your stuff and leave. You are not welcome here. So.
Our marriage, you have not been an active partner, spouse to me since we got married. I am a family-oriented person. I believe in marriage and take my vow serious.
That was nice of you. That shows how ready you are.
You walked away from me. I'm here trying to talk to you.
You know, it's just because I'm better than you. I don't do
No,
it back
you're
to you.
not. You're a user, Muhammad. You used me. You told me what I wanted to hear to get me to pull that annulment.
Nice, nice.
I am going to guarantee I will get your ass deported because.
So you see, this is how it comes. This is what it really comes down to. If it's not sexual tourism, it's like, you know, it's just like a cuck who says, okay, well, I can get out of my situation in a third world country and get to something better. It's most of the time not for love or not for like sincere reasons. So, but for us, when we like go overseas and stuff like that, it's usually for sincerity. I know many guys who marry in Thailand. As a matter of fact, I actually know a guy who he went to Thailand. He actually lives in Thailand now, and he opened up a restaurant and a hotel in Thailand, and he's content with his Thai wife. And there's many of these stories. It's not just like him, but there's also many of these stories when these women think that like they really got a prize, and really the prize just wanted like papers. Let's see. Let's see what happened.
How to make good use of a pineapple. First, find the party. Then, find the ice. Add in captain. Mix in pineapple. Garnish. Stir. Sip. See ya.
Nah, I prefer just pineapple juice.
No, because it brings a lot of like bad memories and stuff. I hope that she's not gonna start screaming and telling me, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Because I'm over that.
So, how are you doing?
Good.
How's your driving truck?
It's a nice job. I like it.
And I can see it suits you because you like to travel.
Yeah, I do a lot. But anyway, so how is your schedule now?
So he doesn't want to be there. You're seeing visually he's like bothered and things like that. And I'm just gonna tell you, like, this is what it comes down to. I mean, I even know other Senegalese men who have done the same shit. Like, they say, I got to get my papers. So, you know what I mean? I got to marry a woman here. That's what they do. But most of the time, only sometimes, only weak men. Like with weak men, then, yeah, a woman usually is going to finesse them from overseas. But that's only for weak men. You know what I mean? For a strong woman like her who has masculine personalities and stuff like that, she still got finessed. You know? As I said before, you know, women and men are different, and when women decided to take on the masculine roles, it backfired on them completely. But let's continue. Let me see. Okay. So here's another thing that happened. Let's look at this.
Me and Muhammad are still married. Muhammad, are you gonna make some for me too?
You can eat with me.
Okay.
I came from Tunisia. I left everything there. I changed all my plans to come to the United States.
Me and Muhammad are intimate. We kiss, we hug, but we do it in private.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
We are like every other married couple.
since we got married. We've had many ups and we've had many downs. Muhammad has brought up divorce, and it's usually when we're fighting.
And then when we settle down, we will think, like,
you can tell he's in a sucking place. Like you can look at him and say that this dude is like in a sunken place. You can like just tell, like this dude is like, man, I'm just here getting my papers and just getting on with it. So like the thing is, most of these American women, like when they try to do this, you don't see like the younger American women doing this. You see like the older, bitter ones trying to do this. And the thing is that like, let's say you have a older black dude who's established, or like just an older like white dude who's established, and his intentions are pure, then he's gonna win at the end. These women won't win, no matter, even if they decide to go overseas and stuff like that. Because I talked to, me being foreign myself, I talked to Sergey, I talked to Ahmed, I talked to Lee, I talked to Giovanni. They only tell me that these American women are good for only one thing. You know? That's just what it is.
we will think more, and then we will give another chance.
Now, here's something else. Here's something else that happened too in the process.
Stop being so nice to women. Nice will never equal turned on.
Shut up.
When we saw the scene of you two at the wedding, you said that you could not kiss her.
Yes.
Okay. Have you guys ever kissed before that?
Yes.
You have.
Yes.
Were you intimate before that?
Yes.
You have. Okay, so you kind of consummated the relationship.
Mhm.
Was there any intimacy after the wedding at all?
After the wedding?
Yes.
There was, but we started facing a problem.
What was the problem?
I don't want to say, like, this is very private. Instead of taking care of that problem, she was like fighting with me over it.
I think I know what the problem is. I think I know what the problem was. Her pH was shot to shit. That was the problem. And not only that, it's just like, why would you want to have sex with a damn why would you want to have sex with a damn Pillsbury Doughboy anyway? Like, that's the other issue he was probably dealing with. You know what I mean? But I think that was the main issue, is her pH was probably shot to shit.
This is something that no man in the world can accept that. And then she was like, sitting on the floor, crying, screaming in front of her teenagers. I want my sex tonight. If you don't give me my sex tonight, I will call the immigration. I will get you deported.
That's another thing they do. That's another thing they do. What they do is they try to hold that shit over your head as well. Because I talk to people. Like, even if I stay to myself and stuff like that, and I'm mostly quiet, I still talk to people. And so guys come to me and tell me the same thing. They will hold that immigration shit over your head. So keep that in mind when you decide, okay, you know, I need to marry for papers. Just keep that in mind. Please keep that in mind. But let's listen.
Danielle, can you tell us what he's talking about? He has told people that I smell and I peed on him.
Oh, shit. Okay. I told you it had to do with odor. I told y'all that it had to do with odor. And of course she's going to smell. Look at how fat she is.
Okay, this person here, she has some stuff that I don't like. I complain about.
You know what? I don't even want to know.
Then
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for.
If you asking me like why I'm not having sex with her, then you put it out there. I have to explain it.
You know. All right. So
I have explained it.
I'll give you another example. Okay.
If it wasn't for this program, I don't know where I'd be right now.
I'm about to meet the love of my life for the first time ever. Oh my gosh. I'm ready. Oh my god. I'm really happy to see you. Oh my god.
So understand that she was on the bottom of the totem pole when it came to like men here. So with that being said, you have to understand that like most of the women who are saying, oh, they'll go overseas and do the same thing, they look something like her, be it they're black, white, or whatever the case may be. You know, they're going to be like looking like her. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, they can't do the same things that we can do, you know? And I don't know, you know, I'm trying to think in my head, like, what's the reason that Allah like calls like the gender like this, like what's the reason why Allah calls the female gender in America to be like so, I guess you can say like so delusional, so warped, so twisted, in that they just had their sights set on to spread it out throughout the world, like not just spread it to, not just keep it in America, but spread it throughout the world. But most of I'm glad like a lot of the world have rejected it, you know. Let me see if I can actually pull up Clubhouse right now and see if the masculine ass woman is on Clubhouse, who, you know, I didn't even recognize if she was a woman or a damn man. Let me see. Okay. She's not on. Let me see. All right, she's not on. But the thing is that like people just do not understand like the plight, and unfortunately men, you know, weak men pander and cater to the plight of what the damage that these women have caused. You know, they've caused a lot of damage, and like men actually pander to that damage, you know. Now let me see. There was another video I want to look at. Let me see which video it was.
with food. Now, if this is happening outside of the state where they live, it's predatory. I find it to be predatory. And you soliciting a woman in that way is prostitution. Like, people really could make a word it that way. It's probably better for me to word it that way.
I'm recording this shit. They need to know.
You really gonna record me?
No, they need to know. I done flew her all the way out to LA. She giving those cheeks. We been FaceTiming. Come on, we been FaceTiming every day.
I don't give a.
No, we been FaceTiming every day.
Are you really taking me all the way back to the airport? You really taking me back to the airport?
Yes, you going to the fucking airport. Yes,
And you taking me back to the airport because of what? Tell me why.
Give me no cheeks.
I'm not fucking obligated to give you my what?
I flew you out.
What are you talking about? Nigga, you were lame as fuck. On social media, period, but definitely on TikTok, there's quite a few videos up, and I'm not real sure who's exactly is at women person. And so you do have to be careful.
And that's, you don't have to share if you're actually a trans woman. You don't have to share that with the audience, my audience anyway, my limited audience. Unless you were born a man, you can have no idea what masculinity is and whatnot. And that's why women.
And that's another thing too. Okay, thank you for that, brother. We're gonna tap into that right now that you told me that. And that's another thing too, that the thing is that as a man, we can only basically understand like what we know what a woman's natural fitra is, what a woman's role is. We understand that, but a woman can't tell us like how to be a man. Like, that's the thing. Like, a woman can't tell us how to be men. And for the most part, like most Muslim men, they understand what their assignment is, unless they unless they became victim to this kind of crap that we have going on right now.
Hey, stop using these for ear cleaning. They're even banned to use.
If sisters only knew what men are looking for, you will stand out from all these other sisters. But they don't. You know who's feeding you all this nonsense? Single sisters. Which does what? Which keeps single sisters single.
And men say that all the time. Men say that all the time, that single women keep women single, and they never listen. But let's dissect this since you brought it to our attention. Jazakallah khair for bringing this to light, this episode.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of the Prophetic Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Amr Mabruk, joined by my co-host, Munir, and we have a very special guest, the man, the myth, the legend himself, one of the first Muslims ever to conquer the YouTube space, Baba. Hey, assalamu alaikum. How are you doing? Good afternoon. How are you guys? Alhamdulillah. You've been in this space for how many years? Too many. I'm a dinosaur. My grandson was. It's like, I'm like, people said they got kids now. They're watching my videos when they were kids, and now they have kids. I'm like, wow, whoa. I feel like I really am Baba, the Baba. I named myself way ahead of time. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. You've been contributing so much to our community from like a positive media standpoint, good content creation, back from when no one really even cared about this space, And you're still doing your comedic circuits, right? Yeah. So, you've been in the space for a long time. You're interacting with different groups of people on a weekly basis. And at the same time, you run the newly branded Half Deen. Yes. You hear that, people? Not half my Deen, half our Deen, or half your Deen. It's just Half Deen. Make it easy. Making it easy. I like that. Simplify. Like even like the new logo, the heart with everything. Yeah. Just drop the hour. Yeah, like you made the brothers blue above the pink, but at the same time, in the heart, the pink is before the blue. There's equality.
Yes.
Mashallah. Mashallah. That was very well thought out.
See, I don't have to do stand-up comedy when we already have a comedian here, mashallah. You do the comedy for us.
Mashallah. Thank you so much. Next time you have an event, let me open for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I got your back. But yeah, we're just gonna dive right into it because it's late in the day and I don't know how much, I don't know when you're gonna want to just bounce. So the topic we're discussing is, Muslim dating, essentially. So to get right into it, the divorce rate's around 45%. You said it was up, was it 13% or 17%?
It was 31% when I was looking to get married 20 years ago. It was 45% today. And the rate we're moving will be at 59%. Will be higher than non-Muslims, which is crazy. Because non-Muslims 20 years ago were at 50, and now they're at 50 still. We'll be higher than non-Muslims if we're going at the rate we're going.
Well, okay.
And that's not even including the people who are married and miserably married.
Miserably, SubhanAllah, even though we're all chasing love marriages.
Yes.
Back then it was all, majority was arranged marriage now, and there was the divorce rate was low. Now it's all about love marriages and the divorce rate is skyrocketing.
Yes.
So maybe we can discuss that as well. But yeah, you run Half Deen. Half Deen.
You see?
I want to say something too, and this is something that the sisterhood faults. And it's Muslim sisters as well that fault this, but there's nothing wrong with an arranged marriage. If you guys can see eye to eye and you guys understand and the sit down and everything goes good, there's nothing wrong with an arranged marriage at all. In fact, one of my father's marriages was arranged. There's nothing wrong with an arranged marriage at all. A lot of times, unfortunately, since we have given the power to these women, the things that will work and fix some of the issues are looked down upon. Because I'm of the opinion, I'm truly of the opinion that modern women, regardless where they come from, don't want solutions to what's going on.
This is why I dropped the hour.
I caught myself. Half Deen. You're running Half Deen, and
for those who don't know, it's a matrimonial pairing website. Yeah. So you can get into the details of that later, but just so there's a background on that.
Yeah, it's way more rigorous than swiping right or left. It actually requires some effort on your part.
Much effort.
Yeah. And you're also on Clubhouse.
Yes.
Running rooms for 3-4 hour marathons.
13 is the longest we've run.
13 hours?
13 hours. Today we ran a room just on figuring out what you need to be a wali. And if you want to be a wali in the future, here's some tips.
What?
Yeah.
Why did you tell me I would have tuned in?
See, rooms are, if they're interesting, people want to hear. Like, I'll talk about, here's why so many men in their 30s are not looking to get married. They're successful, they're making money, they're good practicing Muslims, and they don't want to get married.
Why is that?
That's a good question. We should dive into that as well.
Well, let's just take it from where because you have, from our point of view, alhamdulillah, Munir and I, we're both married. I think judging by, I kind of know both our situations. We didn't talk to too many people before we found the right one, right? It was and I think maybe that's part of the good thing, right? Having more options actually makes it worse for you. So, and we do hear stories here and there. I am hearing more and more stories of people our age, either in trouble or getting divorced or in the process of getting divorced. So it is on the up and up. But what I just want to structure the conversation. So maybe we can start with finding the right person first. What are some pitfalls you're seeing when you're talking to these groups of people, like young people who are looking for a potential match?
Everyone sees things through their lens. So sisters will use words that they're attracted to when they're talking to the opposite gender, and it doesn't really work out. Like, for example, a woman will start off their entire subject in the courtship. I am strong and independent.
So why do you want to get married?
So here's the thing. When a sister says strong and independent, she has a completely different meaning.
When a sister says strong and independent, she's okay, how should I say this without making takfir? I'm trying to think of how I can say this without making takfir. When a sister says she's strong and independent, she has the mannerisms of non-Muslim women. That's what it comes down to.
What's in our mind versus what the guy hears.
Yeah.
I've never asked a brother, said, brother, what are you looking for in marriage? And I'm looking for someone who's strong. Okay, perfect. I found someone strong. I'm looking for someone independent. See, when men hear the word independent, this is what they hear. I don't need you. That's what men hear. I'm independent. Allah is the only one that's independent. Everything else is dependent. Everything. So the idea for us to think we're independent, there's no one independent. We're interdependent, which means we all depend on each other, but we are very, very dependent on each other. And this is the problem that we have, unfortunately. Sisters are, they have these words that they use. And what she's trying to say for a lot of sisters, this is what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, hey, I myself am very strong. You don't have to be worried about a weak person. I'm independent, which means don't have to stress out. I'm here to help you out. I'm here to help you.
What does strong mean? Well, strong in what sense though? Like, are we talking emotionally, physically?
I'm
like
emotionally strong. I'm not fragile. Don't worry. I'm like one of those little weak sisters. I'm strong. And the man like, okay. Here's this part that the sisters don't get. Like, ask the vast majority of sisters that I talk to, they're completely don't understand like how men think. And I try to explain to them.
They don't care how men think. That's the whole problem. They don't care how men think. Because if they cared how men think, then they would honestly, I would say, they would honestly take into consideration how men think, but they don't care. That's what I'm saying. They don't care about it. It's just whims and desires at the end of the day. That's why, like, honestly, as I said, I've checked out, And unfortunately, you have weak Muslim men too, who don't think who want to like regulate what you say. I was tripping out when the guy was tripping off of me using the word chick. Like, you're really tripping off of me using the word chick, bro? That's like the weirdest thing I've ever like had in my life. But let's continue. Because they don't care how we think. That's the problem.
When you say I don't need you, because that's what independent means, the man's like, okay, I guess you're good. So I'm like, I hope you're doing fine. He just says pass. Because a man, and then when you do find a guy, well, I don't want this guy, because the kind of guy you find, guess who he is? He's the kind of person that says, you know what? I need you to pay 50% of my bills. I need you to do this, I need you to do this, I need you to do this. And like, I don't want this kind of a guy. I want the guy who wants to provide and protect. Well, that provider and protector looks at you and says, she's doing good.
Yeah.
She doesn't need me. I'm good. And then he moves on.
So there's definitely like a marketing issue. What are you saying on the guy side?
On the guy side, unfortunately, we have very modern men who want traditional women. And we have modern women who want traditional men.
So describe that. What do you mean by modern men wanting traditional women?
So a modern person is, the day of judgment, what everyone's going to be saying to each other?
Nafsi, nafsi, me,
nafsi, nafsi, me. They're already saying in dunya. We're not even waiting to the day of judgment. They're saying it now. Nafsi, nafsi. Everything's me. Take care of me first.
Okay.
Take care of myself. Self-love. Everything me. And that's how the men think, and that's how the women think.
But the men have no choice but to take care of themselves because nobody else is going to do it for them. That's the thing. So a man has to think self-preservation first. Because back in the day, yes, you did have women who held it down. But since those women don't exist as today, they don't exist today. A man has to think self-preservation first for everything else. Because at the end of the day, if he stumbles, he has to pick himself back up and rely on Allah to help him get his stance back. So he has to think that way. A woman doesn't have to think that way because honestly, there's so many things in place for her to get the help that she needs. that she doesn't really necessarily have to think in that matter. A guy does, though, have to think in this matter.
And nobody wants the me's. Because in our deen, that is never taught to take care of yourself without taking care of anybody else. It's all about taking care of each other. The best of you is who's best to his wife. The best of you is who's the one who's most beneficial to others. There is no the best of you is take care of himself.
Yeah.
Where is that hadith? I've never seen it. Which ayah are you guys talking about? So all these concepts that come outside of Islam, Muslims have inherited, and now they want to use these things and say, hey, look how attractive I am. And people are like, nope, next. And they keep swiping left. And people are not interested. Modern people want traditional people, but traditional people want traditional people. People love the part of Islam where it benefits you.
Yeah, my rights.
My rights.
Yeah,
Cook for me,
rights and
clean for me,
responsibilities.
give me all your money. Or,
That's a bank robbery. That's a bank robbery. And now they were wearing masks, so you can do like, yeah, this goes a little bit well.
and the give me all your money thing applies to guys too. I've heard some stories. That,
Yeah.
you know.
There's house husbands.
Yeah, we were talking about it. House husbands and sugar mamas. That's my.
See, a lot of people were shocked when I was telling them there's more and more brothers that I listen to. I'm looking for a wife that'll go work for me and provide for me. And these girls, when you say, no, brother, there's no way. And when brothers do say this, even on Clubhouse, they mute him or they move him to the audience because they think he's trolling. But I've been in enough rooms with different people, they haven't trolled it at all. And they're actually saying, I want to be home. I haven't met this guy on Clubhouse saying, I have a wife who works and I just stay home. So you think to himself, oh, he must be staying home, take care of the kids. There's no kids. It's just him chilling. You go to work. You know what? You want to be independent and strong? You do that. And don't let anyone speak otherwise. I'll just stay home and watch some TV. I'll play some video games.
My mind's like blown right now.
I guess this is like this. Yeah, it's like they almost like if you think that feminism was designed by some guy says, dude, if there's a way I can get the girl to go to work and I can go home, they're like, wow, what are you talking about? Who's gonna fall for that? So, wait, I think I have it. Write this down.
You have to ask yourself. Why has it became like that? You have to ask yourself, like, why are, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying this is the right thing. I am by no means saying that this is the right thing to do. I'm not saying that. And I'm not justifying it. But you have to ask yourself, why has it became like that? Why are there Muslim men saying, hey, you go out and work, I'm going to go hold down the house? You have to ask yourself, why has it became like that? That's the thing. Why?
And then men are not attracted to certain things that women think they're attracted to. And men are not in the flip. If you flip
Vice versa
too.
Yeah. So I have a question. You started off with one big shot. You said the Muslim divorce rate is going to go surpass the non-Muslim one.
Yep, at this rate. Yeah.
So what factors going to contribute to that? So I think the non-Muslim, well, maybe it's because non-Muslims aren't getting married in the first place anymore. They're just domestic partners. So there's no divorce happening, just a splitting of ways. But why would we keep increasing beyond the 50% that the non-Muslims say, when they were still religious 20 odd years ago?
Look at how we're getting divorced. Like, you guys know the statistics of who initiates divorce.
It's mainly women now, right?
70% women. Yeah, that's across the board. Now, if she's college educated, it's 90%.
Oh,
90%.
So, just keep in mind. Okay, I want you to understand something. If you marry a woman who's like educated and things like that, you're not necessarily going to be intimidated by her. That's not going to be the issue. The issue is going to be she's going to challenge everything you say and everything you do, because she's going to wave that degree over your head. That's the problem. That's the main problem that you're going to have to deal with dealing with a woman like that. You're going to have to be dealing with that because what happens is when she does become like, when she becomes like educated like that, right? When she becomes educated in such a way like that, she usually develops like masculine traits and also gets very argumentative. Now, granted, a lot of them, because of their education, they're in like thousands and thousands of dollars of college debt because of that. And then also on the flip side, they are, I want to say, they usually have, I guess you can say, finesse themselves through their education. One guy was telling me, actually, and he told me this because he's a military man. I asked him, like, why do women join the army? Like, what do they stand to gain in the army? And he basically told me that that a lot of times women will just, sleep around to get to the top, like to get better positions and stuff like that. That's what that's what he was telling me. That they're really not capable of doing the work that comes inside the army. That's what he was telling me.
You guys can Google this, ask Chef Google. It's multiple studies have been done on this. There is nobody that says even 50%. There's no 50 or even 60. It is 70%. The minimum I've seen is 69% in one study. Wow. But let's just say 70% for rounding up, and then you go up to 90%. And both studies show 9%, which is college educated. Most sisters are college educated. Mm-hmm. So the question is, who suffers more in a divorce?
The woman.
The woman or the man. So this is not, you can't talk about gender fluid and be equal here. No, sisters do suffer more.
Especially if there's kids, if there's any.
For sure.
And we're talking society, like, well, okay. If they're in like an American court, the guys do get the shorter end of the stick in terms of visitation rights. But in the Muslim community, if you're speaking like in a communal setting, it's always looked bad on the girl more.
Yeah, socially, it's more difficult for the sisters. And the other side is financially, dunya-wise, it's more difficult for the brothers. So this is to answer your initial question earlier, we're talking why is it so hard for brothers in their 30s to get married? And the main reason for that is because a lot of brothers have seen other brothers get divorced and they end up with losing the kids. See, it's one thing to lose half your money. And a lot of guys say, okay, fine, I lost my money. But it's another thing to lose your kids.
No.
And if your wife does infidelity, does something that's completely out of your control because the court system doesn't care.
I want to play something. That alludes to his point. And again, I'm saying that it's more common than you think. That, I hate to say this, and may Allah protect me and may Allah like prevent me from, Jahannam for what I'm about to say. But a lot of times we like to we're under the impression that Muslim women are like just like pious and things like that. They're not. At least not in the West. They're not. Because a lot of them have bought into the feminist thing and also the sexual liberation thing, and they're not. I believe me, I have many stories. If you go on Clubhouse, you'll listen. I've been invited into private rooms with these Muslim women, and the amount of things they disclose to you, you just shake your head, and you know that it's not gonna go down there. So let me let you hear something to let you know what he's saying is spot on. Let me find it. Just give me a minute. Let me find it. Let me find it. Okay, here we go. Listen to this.
System is fucking rigged, especially if you have a dick. I was a good husband. All I have to say is our legal system is fucking rigged, especially if you have a dick. I was a good husband. I'm a good father. I have 50-50 custody of my kids. I'm not even divorced yet. Speaking with my attorney today, she basically gets all of my shit. She cheated. She put another dude before her fucking family. She left. Mommy and daddy buys her a fucking house. I'm losing my house for my kids and have to go rent a tiny house now, which is whatever. That's fine. That's great. But I have 50-50 custody. She makes good money. Her dude makes good money that they live together with in the house that mommy and daddy bought. But yet I have to pay fucking child support and basically give her all of my shit. So she gets a fucking reward for cheating and fucking over her entire family. The legal system. All I have to say is our legal.
So this is why men are that's why I'm not getting married for sure. Over here, I'm definitely not getting married for sure, because the way I look at it is that Western women and also Western Muslim women are all the same, and they're looking for the better deal. You know, so it's not worth doing it, and it's not worth jeopardizing your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health for that. It's not worth it. Well, let's continue.
If she goes cheats on you, it's no fault. Divorce. Yeah, exactly. So she goes, oh, the judge goes, well, since she cheated on you, that there's no judge like that. There's no haram, right? So she can do, for any reason, she can divorce you and take the kids, and you lose full custody, and you done nothing wrong.
So that's why the guys above 30 are staying away from marriage.
When they see other people lose everything, including their kids. When I say everything, I'm not talking about dunya, I'm talking about their children as well. They start hesitating. So you know what? Maybe it's not worth it. It's hard. It's too hard. I can't think of if I have children and losing them. If she decides to one day, I change my mind.
You really think so? I think it's kind of a cop out a little bit. I mean, if you find someone who's righteous and you're well,
it's not what I agree with. I'm just saying,
you can prenup. I don't know. There's got to be something. If you're really that way, like, why would you start off
how do you get a
marriage?
sister to sign a prenup? What's your opening line, please?
My wife and I have a prenup. I don't know.
I'm saying his opening line. He got one. So what would you say? I love you, but I don't trust you. Can you please sign this?
And
that's what it is for sisters. That's what it looks like. I love you, but I don't trust you.
Okay, well, sometimes when people do the nikah agreement, there is a certain amount allocated in the case of divorce, and that's
again, it's not the money issue, as I said. It's the children.
It's the children. It's the children.
So if it's the money issue, you can do a prenup.
You could make it. Put that in the nikah.
We don't even have kids to put in the nikah.
No. You can make it an agreement, like a line item, like should there be divorce and there's children, then we guarantee each other 50-50 custody or something. I don't know.
And then will the law of the land override that?
It would if you get enough lawyers, probably.
See, this is the issue, this lack of trust, and this is why sisters come in and says, well, the reason I have my career is just in case it doesn't work out. And the guy comes in, well, if it doesn't work out, everyone's coming with the backup plan.
Yeah. That's never gonna work.
Exactly. So you come in with the backup plan, you're already coming in with the idea this thing's gonna fail. That's like a brother coming in and say, hey, I'm already marrying a second wife because I'm not sure if this is going to work out. So as soon as this nikah is done, we have another masjid to go to real quick. I'm going to say, you saved 2 witnesses. I'm going to recycle right now. So it's like, what? Why are you making a second one? Just in case this doesn't work out, I have a backup plan. And this is the problem. You guys are laughing, but this is like how it is when you say, hey.
It's mentality.
Yeah. So these are certain things, like I'll tell you, like what for sisters who are listening right now, when you come in and you're talking about your career, they're worried because the man sees she's already married.
Because we know what it takes to have
a career.
And most men don't. We don't really love our careers.
We just retire us right now. We're done.
Yeah, we just need money, put food on the table, do other things that we love.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We don't have a choice. Men are like,
exactly.
You see, sisters could be like, my wife could be like, I'm going to work a little bit, and then I'll take a part-time job, and then I'll have some kids, and then go back a little bit work, and maybe work
nonprofit. I don't know.
I work in nonprofit. I can't do that. Here's my choices. Go to work. That's it. Period. It's like, that's my only choice. And as soon as you give a man an opportunity to retire, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. See you guys later. That's the man. It's like, man does not say, you know what? I'm going to work a little bit, take a part-time job. I may have some kids. Kid, what? I can't talk to any brother like this. Like, what are you talking about? What planet do you live on?
And I feel like it's saying a feedback loop, though. Someone's coming in, they're saying to themselves, all right, if I get divorced and I don't have a job or any of the experience, because I got my college degree, probably, most people are meeting in college, a lot of our couple friends we know. All right, I don't use my degree. We are married 10 years, and then we, God forbid, we get divorced. So the woman's thinking to herself, well, if I didn't use that degree in all that time, how am I going to get a job afterwards? Because now I'm on my own, right? And I'm 10 years older, and who's going to marry me and this and that. So then that feeds into, well, then I better be working. And then that causes the separation in the first place. And then it just keeps happening. Other people see that and it does again and again and again.
Yeah. It's a cycle we have to break the cycle. So here's the thing. Some sisters work and say, look, I'm going to work on my career right now, and then I'll wait and I'll get married when I'm in my 30s, right?
Okay. But this is what the Prophet alayhi salatu salam said about that. When I got married, maybe I should do the Arabic first, okay? Hadathana Adamu, Hadathana Shuaybahu, Hadathana Muharibu, Kala Samitu Jabir ibn Abdullah, radiallahu anhu, Yakulu, Tazajatuhu, Fakala li, Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Ma tazawjata fa'atuhu tazawjatu tayyiba faqala ma laka wa li'adara wa li'abiha faraktu dhalik li urah wa ibn dinari faqala amru Samitu Jabril ibn Abdullahi Yakulu Kala li Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam Hala Jariyati Dula Ibuhuha Wathala Ibuka. So basically what that says is, when I married, Allah's apostle said to me, what type of lady have you married? I have married a matron. He said, why don't you have a liking for the virgins and for fondling them? Jibril also said, Allah's apostle said, why didn't you marry a young girl so that you might play with her and she with you? So it goes to shit. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to marry a young woman. As a matter of fact, a lot of times young women want to marry you. To be honest with you, a lot of them want to like be married to you. And it's just like a historical, it's just historical things. And you know, the problem is for some reason, because it's their competition and they didn't learn how to get along with men, the older women will fault younger women for marrying older guys, because that's of course their competition that they won't be able to compete with.
Yeah. But what they don't tell you is that there's no brothers, an abundance of brothers waiting for you.
Yeah, all the guys that are above 32, 33, 34, the first thing I see when I get their profile is they're looking for someone under 29.
Exactly.
Not even 30, they want under 29.
So, and I'm not saying this is fair. Like, I don't think,
it's just a matter of
agree with
fact.
this.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of fact. Like, I'm here just letting you guys know what the message is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the guy who gives you the report card and says, well, why are you getting my report card? Well, I'm not your kid. Go talk to your kid. I'm just basically telling you guys here. I'm the mailman giving you guys a report card for what happened to your kids at school. So.
Yeah, and just to add on top of that, at least he's just stating matter of fact based on his experience, what he's dealing with people. He's letting you know, like, based on what I'm hearing, this is what's happening. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys some solutions because this is just describing the problem.
Yeah.
The Ummah has described the problem 101 ways. We need to start figuring out how we can solve this problem because I really do want people to get married. That's why I work on the projects I do. That's why I'm on Clubhouse, as I said, for 13 hours, is because I really want people to get married. Alhamdulillah, people are getting married.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and staying married. That's the main
yes.
thing. See, there's nothing of helping people get married, nothing helping people stay married.
Yeah.
That's something we need to really, really start focusing on. Why are people getting divorced? I know brothers who've been married for like 18, 19 years getting divorced. Yeah. And what did he do? Anything haram? Nope. And his wife, is he complaining? Is it infidelity? Nope. Is he beating you? Nope. Physical abuse? Nope. Is he doing this? Nope.
Then what was it?
That's the thing. It just.
I'll tell you what it was. It was her friends, and it was also the fact that she thinks she can get a better deal. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, here we go. Now TikTok really pushes this. TikTok really pushes this, man. TikTok pushes these things the wrong way. But TikTok does push like mother and daughters being friends instead of like the traditional gender role. But again, they probably thought they can get a better deal. That's the thing. That's why they get tired of their wives. I mean, their husbands. Is they think there's a better deal out there. That's the whole situation. That's why all of a sudden they say, okay, I don't want to be married anymore.
The stuff you would expect to be divorced for. I had a brother and sister come to my house one time. Okay. And they said, they called me and my wife and said, we're having some marriage problems. Can we come to your house? I'm like, I'm sorry, I only run a matchmaking website. I'm not married. You should go to a therapist. No. We just feel more comfortable with you guys. I tell my wife, look, someone wants to come over for what? Marriage advice. Well, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know. And they said, okay, they're coming. I said, fine. So they come to our house. It says, well, we decided we want to get a divorce. Wait, I thought it was just marriage problems. And like, well, why are you guys getting divorced? And they'll say something like, I kid you not. You guys think I'm making this stuff up? I kid you not. My wife just looked at them like this. First thing the sister would say is like, well, he doesn't play Wii with me. What? Yes. Wii. This story's a little bit old, but it was the Wii. Yeah. Nintendo Wii. He won't play Wii with me when he gets home from work. And he says, I don't play Wii with you because you don't wash my cup. Why do we need to wash your cup? Well, yes, you do need to wash it. And they're sitting there fighting us, and like, we're like watching a tennis match happening back and forth. And we're like, you're kind of looking around to see if there's cameras to see if we're being pranked or not, because this is, what are you guys talking about? Like, you guys are getting divorced over this? Yeah. And guess what? I'm moving in with them. And I'm thinking to myself, who's them? And then she has a luggage. She brought her luggage to my house. I was wondering why she has luggage with her. And she said, I'm living with them for now. Fine. What do you mean fine? And then my daughter was, Baba, where's she going to sleep?
Did they actually get divorced?
Assalamu alaikum. This is an urgent appeal for the people of Yemen. The suffering in Yemen right now is truly unimaginable.
No. Yeah. That was like,
these are like symptoms of.
There's gotta be symptoms of something. Yeah. Like the week could be you're not spending time with me.
No, these are you don't get divorced just off of this.
Yeah.
This is the straw that broke the camel's back. This is the final straw. This is like you do all these little mini things with each other, and then finally it takes one more thing, and that's it. What happens is like there's certain things that sisters will go over above and beyond for their husbands over and over and over again, and eventually they're hoping that the guy will catch up and realize all these great things I'm doing for you, and the guy doesn't do it. Then it just bottles up, and then one day she's like, relationship is over. He's like completely clueless. He had no idea we're having problems in our relationship.
Usually they're not going to do those things that he's talking about, though. Well, let's continue.
Relationship. She's like, well, she's always analyzing the relationship where we're at, where we're going. Men don't do this, right? We just see the overall summary. How's the relationship going? Good. How's everything? Alhamdulillah. It's like men are like that.
Overall trajectory up.
Yeah, overall trajectory up. I look at the summary. Give me the summary. Right? Women have every single detail. They're like zoomed in, and men are zoomed out. Right? So we see things completely differently, and then we clash because we see things differently. Yeah, and that's the problem. Even when it comes to people talking shit for marriage, if sisters only knew what men are looking for, you will stand out from all these other sisters. But they don't. You know who's feeding you all this nonsense? Single sisters.
Oh yeah, single sisters giving advice to single sisters.
Which does what? Which keeps single sisters single. Don't listen to single sisters. You want to see how to see successful marriage? Go hang out or talk to someone who's been married for 20 years. Ask them, not your single friends, not your divorced friends. Ask them what makes a marriage successful. And they will oftentimes tell you this, you have to do this, and these are things that you don't like, but these are great things that will make you guys successful.
Yeah, I mean, as your marriage goes on, it's more about compromise and communication. It's a lot of hard work. It's nowhere near as flowery as TV may make it seem. Not at all. No. So
you guys want to know one of the things that women do that pushes men away? That's a controversial word, everybody. Masculine energy.
When a woman puts on masculine energy?
Yep. And women are like, what do you mean masculine energy?
Please. Man. That's like all of them, though. That's like mostly all Western women, like including the Muslim ones, because they have deep ass voices. Let me see. I don't know if I can find one, but all I have to do is look up on Clubhouse and you hear it. And be honest. Let me see. See. I'm going to a room. All right.
Okay.
All right, let me see.
For sure. You shouldn't make it seem like they did, but I didn't. Sure, yeah. Okay. I kept the moves like Jack.
So I mean, even when you listen to her talk, like you can tell like she's masculine as shit. Like that's the thing. Like you can hear it in her damn voice. Like that short amount of time, you're like, damn. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna reveal too much. I remember one time I was asleep. I was asleep and I actually fell asleep at one of my friends' house. I fell asleep and it was like time to pray. It was early. It was early in the morning. I didn't mean to fall asleep over his house, but I fell asleep. So I fell asleep. Even his mom and his sister had like feminine voices. And so they would, one of them woke me up when it was time to pray. And the fact that they still had that feminine voice was refreshing to me. Because I hate to say it, that most women in the West sound very masculine. A lot of them do.
I took some brothers. We do these live events, and during one of our live events, our marriage events, during the break time, we have brothers hang out and they're just talking. Like after end, everything's over.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 brothers just like this talking. And as they're talking, we're talking about a subject, and then a sister walks by. Everyone, without any signal, we all know how to change the subject. So we talk about microphones. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And it's like no one had to say, "Hey, there's a sister." Everyone knew the code. And sister's like, no. She has no idea what's going on. And when she walks away, we go back to the men's subject. There's subjects that we men talk about when sisters are not around. And one of the complaints that brothers were having is how hard it is to find a sister who's feminine. In today's time, it's extremely hard to find sisters who act feminine, who have feminine energy.
So, I mean, if this guy is saying that, what makes... My question is, what makes sisters think that they're exempt and that they don't fall into the same category as non-Muslim Western women when we're clearly seeing it and he's clearly saying it? Like, this is why I'm just trying to wonder. I'm really trying to get idea.
And a lot of sisters, whenever I say this, like, I don't get it. Like, what's feminine to you? What is the word feminine? And the fact is, I can't tell you how many times I've been on social media where I can tell you at least 10, 15 times. Can you please explain what femininity is? I mean, why am I explaining femininity to females? You guys should be the ones teaching the class. I'm a guy. Just like you guys shouldn't be explaining what masculinity is, we should be explaining it. So they keep pushing and pushing us. Okay, let me explain what femininity is. When you guys come into the table and talk about, oh, here's my career, here's my this, here's my accomplishments, here's my goals, all we say is, okay, mashallah, I wish you more success. That doesn't make you wife material. That makes you a great business partner. Like, I would love to have you as a business partner. Yeah. I don't want you as a wife.
And a marriage is not a business partnership.
Yes, it's not a business partnership. And if it is
but the West, let the West tell it, it's a partnership. Let the West tell it. That's why they say, this is my partner. Let the West tell it. It's like you're going into a partnership. Power couple, quote unquote power couple. You know what I mean? I want to segue real quick into something. Into the family dynamic that the West hates. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Episode 2. Yep, right here.
That's it for today. Finished.
You met a guy?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm his type. You're gonna kill it.
And so they're pushing the gay agenda as well, as you see with this movie.
So you survive.
Oh, let me see.
Don't have to look over all those. The whole camp.
Let me see.
And they have embraced the city.
Montreal is a very nice city. Here is many different cultures live together. Later, it's Mama's Cup.
Before it was difficult time because I didn't speak language. I don't know French and English, and we didn't have friends. But now, yeah, I like.
A little bit later, it's Mama's.
See, you see the family dynamic, but yet this is boring. This is like boring to them. But this is, at least for me, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is all I need, really. I'm good. But look at the family dynamic.
Like one year, moms come like getting better. My mom has four sons. I'm youngest one. Chechen traditional is youngest one stay with her parents. I'm happy my mom decided to stay with me.
Он с детства очень трудолюбивый, с детства очень исполнительный, трудолюбивый, стремился к своей цели и шел к этому.
My whole family know what I do, you know. They know I'm preparing for fight. They help me, you know. They try to help me. But it's difficult when you get home like for dinner time and you sit at table and everyone talk with you, telling you some history, you know. it's a little bit difficult, but you know, you can adapt this to it, you know.
While many fighters choose to train away from home, Beterbiev chooses to do things differently. A father of 4, he prefers to stay close to the ones he loves.
It's not like I have camp to prepare. I need to leave my family. I live here like even I have camp. Like I go from my house to training and came back. It's not cutting like my life for them. It's better for me and for them too, I think so.
Magno, Daddy, Magno.
Be father is very interesting feelings. Like you understand, really understand when you have kids.
Нет.
I think you have more respect for your parents when you have kids.
So the thing is, the West doesn't want you to have what that man has right there. When you look at even the media of like, when you look at the media of like Western commercials and stuff, when's the last time you've seen a commercial with a family, with a regular family? When's the last time you've seen that in a Western commercial where you have the nuclear family, where it's the son, the daughter, and the mother and the father? When was the last time you seen like a commercial with that? And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but Muslim women have fallen into that masculinity too. And another thing that these women do is they say you don't know what you're talking about. And then here's the thing. Everything that I've said, when it's based on facts and stuff like that, it happens. I hate to say it either happens to them or it happens to someone around them. Like, you had a group of Somali women on the damn Clubhouse pushing divesting. And I'm like, well, you know, that's cool and all, but a lot of these divestors are taking out their wives. And lo and behold, a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of days later, one took out his lover. They always say you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, me personally, I don't talk unless I know, and unless everything that I've said is thought through. But let's move back to the previous thing about the masculine women.
If sisters only knew what men are looking for, yeah, right. I know a guy, I don't know him personally. There's a group chat with, you know, my wife and some other people. They not as smart, but he works hard. She picked the working hard. Exactly, because it's a reflection of his attitude. And Ali is he's just stating matter of fact based on his experience, what he's dealing with people. He's letting you know, like, based on what I'm hearing, this is what's happening. Take it or leave it. Yeah, we're gonna give you guys some solutions, because this is just describing the problem. Yeah, the Ummah has described the problem 101 ways. We need to start figuring out how we can solve this problem, because I really do want people to get married. That's why I work on the projects I do. That's why I'm on Clubhouse, as I said, for 13 hours, is because I really want people to get married. Alhamdulillah, people are getting married. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, and staying married. That's the main thing. See, there's another thing of helping people get married, another thing helping people stay married. Yeah. That's something we need to really, really start focusing on. Why are people getting divorced? I know brothers who've been married for like 18, 19 years and can't do that. You ever been to a single brother's house? Of course.
I used to sleep on the floor, on a mattress. There you go. And I had the money for a bed. I just was like, it was fun.
Have you seen a single brother's bathroom?
brother, please.
He's like, please, brother, you're embarrassing us here. You're embarrassing us here. Have you seen a single brother in his car? It's like one toilet paper, hair everywhere, dust everywhere. There's no cleaning. The cleaning lady says, I'm out of here. I quit. It's like, no way, I'm out of here.
He can't speak for all single brothers because I know for a fact, like, I keep my shit together. You know, I keep my space clean. You know.
Hair everywhere, and as soon as you go to a married brother's bathroom, there's a potpourri, there's some flowery stuff.
Candles.
There's a candle. There's like the toilet looks like whoa. But the man's bathroom is like, yeah, bro, you want to use a wipe something? Whatever. It's like it's not clean. And then your brother's kitchen, you open up the thing. Women have spices,
labeled,
organized, alphabetical order. Men has ketchup. He has one bottle of ketchup
and salt.
And salt.
I didn't have pepper.
I didn't have salt.
I didn't have a fork. My wife was like, "You don't have the pepper?" I was like, "I just don't need it."
I didn't have salt in my house.
I'm salt here.
My wife, when she went to the supermarket for the first time, she opened up my cabinet. Where's your salt? I said, I don't eat salt. What do you mean you don't eat salt?
So, we've been on for like 3 hours. I'm gonna wrap it up. But I'll be on tomorrow. I think it will be good to wrap up this this episode that was brought to my attention and go into some other things as well. But Jazakallah khair for tuning in and just like really think about what I said about like engaging with women here in the United States of America. And I am by no means trying to keep someone from finding a spouse or anything. I'm just saying that in the climate we're in here, it's not possible. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, inshallah, I'm going to come on tomorrow, inshallah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not possible to really find a spouse who's going to be on your program here. That's the thing. Because they decided they wanted to run their own program. You know what I mean? But anyhow, thank y'all for tuning in. And I'm signing out. Unjarama. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.